I want to explain here what is going on. We were told we had a procurement problem, which basically is when you tender for stuff that it has to be done. You bring in a consultant to do this work, which we disagree with in the first place. But anyway, we bring in the consultants and they do the work. They tender this work. You have to tender for them, and then you tender for the people to do the work. Money being wasted. But anyway, we said, okay, if you think there is a problem, come on up here. Come on up to our office and take a look. And let's sit down and go through this paperwork and see where the problem lies. Now, I was told, okay, we'll do that. But that's not what they've done. Whenever they seen the opportunity, unbeknown to me, the European funding bodies also informed OFMDFM, which means they told Sinn Féin within the Victims Committee, we are going up to Fair's office, not because there's any financial problems, but because we may have got them on a procurement problem where somebody says that because he didn't win a tender, that it wasn't done right. But we will prove it is done right, but that's not the issue here at the minute. I give them access to this office. Within an hour and a half of them been in this office, phone calls started to come in from all over Ireland, from newspapers, saying that we were being raided, that our computers were being taken away. All this type of stuff is going on. Now, this has nothing to do with the auditors who come up to look at this procurement procedure. And I think if you ring SEUPB, they will tell you there is no financial problems, because we have had audits after audits after audits. We're the most audited group in Northern Ireland, probably in the United Kingdom, and there's never been a problem. Now, when they seen the opportunity of coming in, they didn't tell me that they were going to tell OFMDFM, because that is Sinn Féin IRA. They then come in and confidential information left this office that should not have left it. Now, if I had knew that the Sinn Féiners were involved here, I would not, I repeat, I would not have allowed them in through the doors of this premises. I was led to believe that this was the EU body that was up here to take a look at stuff. So they come up alright. They went through everything. But the one thing that is concerning me, where is that information going? Is that information now going back to the IRA? Because if it is, that does concern me. One of the things I asked was about, under the data protection, could somebody sign something here to say that any information they receive here stays with them and then comes back to us. I was told they didn't have to do that. Within an hour and a half of them being in this office, phone calls were coming from media all over the country that we were being raided by SACA and that all our computers and everything was been taken away. Now, whenever I tackled SEUPB, they said, oh well, we had to inform OFMDFM. So in other words, they had to tell the IRA men who created us in the first place. This brings us right back to the problem of 4 years ago, whenever we give documentation to the DUP asking them not to put the victims under control of OFMDFM, because that would mean the IRA men who butchered it would have control over what went where and who got what. Well, we will not run begging to them for anything. So just so you're clear about what's going on here. And there is a member of the DUP behind this, along with the people in Sinn Féin, in the OFMDFM. I am sick to my back teeth of traitors within our own community, working hand in hand with the people who butchered the innocent victims and the members of the security forces who are also innocent victims for this last 35 years. And indeed, their companions are still trying to murder members of the security forces. Now, I also have to say there is good people within the DUP, because there is ones who do keep us up to date on what's going on. So I'm not knocking everybody in the DUP here. There is some politician that is alright. And I have to say that the Unionist Party have been very good here and are trying to do all they can. Now, they pulled a dirty one here on us. So they did. But that's what happened when you give some thrust to what's supposed to be the European funding body. When we believed that what they were doing was for the good of ourselves, and with us agreeing with them, we didn't know that the information could end up in the hands of the IRA. As a matter of fact, we were told that we had no right to any data protection, because I asked that question about signing a form for the data protection, and I was told no, they weren't entitled to do that, which I now find out is not true either. Now, you can come at us whatever way you want to come at us. We were never in this for money. We asked for things to help the victims, to help them move on, but nah, you aren't interested in that. And I can tell this to a certain man sitting on the DUP for the victims. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're rotten to the back core. You're yellow. And before this is all over, we will expose exactly what you and the Shinners have been up to. Now, I've held back out of respect for some of the DUP people that I do deal with. The days of holding back is over. We'll not be intimidated by no turncoats or by no provy wearing Armani suits, or indeed the ones with the hoods on them either. There is no difference. Like, there has been numerous attempts on different people's lives up here, but it'll not deter us. We will continue to send the message that we're not for sale, not at any price. So you better get used to that. And the DUP, I'm regretfully, the genuine people in it now, the issue has become too big that they're now trying to stab the victims in the back. And once it comes to that stage, I will not stand idly by. We are going to go head to head, and I don't care. You know, the difference for me, folks, is I do not care about politicians, about the rocking the boat or whatever. The reason I'm so cross this morning is when I found out that these people had involved the very people who butchered us. If I had knew, they would never get through the doors of this office. Because the one thing they forget, my memory is the same as it was 10 years ago or 12 years ago, when the same people were ringing me, looking me to do things. I haven't changed. And certainly one thing, I have no big wage packet. And for the boy that talks about the fat cats, he need to take a good look in the mirror, because he's about one of the biggest fat cats of all. And perhaps he can run around and clean Peter's car the way he did the Chief Constable. But he certainly doesn't represent the majority of the innocent victims. Put them up. Put the innocent victims up that you say you have. Because I don't claim to represent all the innocent victims, but I do represent quite a few of them. And I will challenge you to put them up for debate. These victims that you have that are so much on for what you are doing, bring them forward. Or you come forward and at least have the guts to face us in a public platform. Because we ain't going anywhere, folks. You betrayed the families of Kings Mill. You betrayed the families in Darkley, Tullyvallen, Lamont, T-Ban. Atrocities where we have people from. You've betrayed them. You have sold them out. And now you are trying to destroy the only help that they have. Well, you ain't going to get away with it.